Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at energy fields. It is time for another update, and today we will be looking at the possibilities of having formed a bottom here within this wave 4, as well as the levels that we need to break for a first signal that indeed we have probably found a bottom within this structure to the downside. But before we get there, I want to go through the large time frame for any of you who might be new, and here I am tracking from the all-time low this uptrend where we have formed a 1-2 setup, and now I'm looking for the larger wave 3 to the upside to develop. Now, since we have the wave 1 and 2 complete, we can look for an ideal target of the wave 3, which is around the $130 level, the 138.2% extension of the wave 1. And since we have already formed a 3-wave move to the upside, we are looking here at a 4th and a 5th to follow. There is actually a good chance we won't manage to get to that point within this direct structure, this direct move to the upside. And if that really happens, well, there is the risk that this may end up developing, shifting into a different pattern, morphing into something like an ABC structure, for which the ideal target is actually the 100% extension of the wave A. And in that case, we should even be prepared for quite a significant downside afterwards, and not even manage to get to that level at all, at least not before we consider this something like a larger wave 1 and then have a wave 2 correction, which would overall be part still of a larger uptrend within a leading diagonal. But we would probably need to have a quite significantly deep retracement here in a wave 2 before we continue in the uptrend in a follow-up wave 3. Now, it could still work out into something like a double 1-2-1-2 setup, even if we don't get to that level, the 138.2% extension, but it would just not, there would be the risk of a full breakdown if we basically don't get to that point. If we don't form the wave 3, we don't have the support zone to look out for a wave 4, for an early and clear indication that this structure is going to fail, and we will need to be watching out for support zone for a wave 2, which would be quite deep, but then it may still not work out due to it being an ABC structure that has formed and which allows for an even deeper retracement, even below the beginning of this movement to the upside, below the $3 level. Now, before we even start considering those facts, this information, we need to focus on the shorter time frame where we haven't even formed this 5-wave structure to the upside. And in both scenarios, we do expect to form these 5 waves up. So far, we have formed the wave 1, here the wave 2, and the 3rd wave up. We are now in the 4th wave correction, in which we expect to find the bottom and create the reversal to the upside in a wave 5, in between the levels at the $17.6 all the way down to the $10.8 at the 50% retracement. As long as we hold the 50% retracement, we can still track a 5th wave to develop to the upside within an impulse, possibly forming the larger wave 3. Now, if we fail to hold the 50% retracement, we may still have a chance to form a 5th wave to the upside, but it would have to be within a diagonal pattern, and it would certainly not be within the actual wave 3 itself. Now, in the shorter time frame, we have been exploring in the previous videos the possibilities of extending further here within this white scenario, extending this larger wave 3, and it appears that we have ended up breaking the support zone that we were tracking for this scenario, and it isn't fully unexpected. I did also provide you very critical area of resistance that needed to be broken in this short time frame, and in the previous video we had already formed only a 3-wave structure to the upside, which was actually suggesting that we will probably find another low. We were prepared for this continuation to the downside, even though we were tracking the possibility of pushing higher within the white scenario. But since this didn't work out, we can now remove this interpretation in white, and we can be certain that we have completed this larger structure within the wave 3, and now track this only as the wave 4 correction. Now, within this wave 4, we have been looking for an additional interesting area besides the 61.8% retracement in the white scenario at the $15 level, because we did have some structural support in this area, and it did manage to slow down the decline that was occurring at that time. But we did also manage to reach the 100% extension here in the wave C, the 100% extension of the wave A, which is the ideal target for a wave C. Yeah, all good so far. But there is a but here, because while pushing lower, while managing to extend and form a more clear 5-wave pattern to the downside, I do also have at this point the possibility of allowing still an extension in this area, where I could even count this movement to the downside in a 5-wave move, and in that case I would need to actually assume that this internal wave 3 has extended and that we should watch out for a correction in a wave 4 within this yellow interpretation. And yeah, this is the area that we need to break to actually get a signal that we have indeed bottomed within the wave 4 here in green. And again, it is possible that we have bottomed. I'm not excluding that possibility. In fact, I am tracking such an occurrence. I am tracking the possibility of having a bottom within the wave 4, but for a signal that it has indeed bottomed, I do need to break above this resistance area between the $15.5 all the way up to the $18 level at the 61.8% retracement. Keep in mind, we are tracking an ending diagonal here in the yellow scenario, so I am looking if we are to follow through to the downside in a wave 5 for something like an ABC structure to complete this pattern. And in that case, yeah, I would have again a full count, but even at this point I could consider it full. I don't necessarily need it to extend. Even another option I can give you, actually, I could consider the wave 3 bottomed here, the wave 4 topped here, and then the 5th wave bottomed here. All fine as well. But yeah, for now we are watching these levels, and so far we have pushed into the first level of resistance. We got rejected initially, but now we managed to push above it. And yeah, we will need to track this closely. There isn't much other information to actually provide at the moment. So for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.